sports.
So we were talking about how much of a Michigan State fan Peggy and Gary Doty are. They go to all the games, and she asked me in the break, "You're going to be tailgating?" It's with 3:30 start, I think, this weekend.
3:30,
So
yes,
that means
which is better than the 8 o'clock for Notre Dame. That was a pretty late night.
too much, and that was a rainy day too.
It was a miserable day.
It made it even tougher.
Yep.
But the noon start doesn't allow for enough tailgating, if you ask me.
You have to
Unless
get
you
out
start
there
at
early.
7.
So what,
Breakfast beers.
with 3:30, what time do you start tailgating?
We get there when the lots open.
Oh, what time do the lots?
11?
I think 11 is what I'm
11?
thinking.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds
Well,
about right.
but like I said, there's very little real estate. So if you want to have
Yeah.
the primo spot, I mean, my
Okay.
husband has to get there early to get the good spot.
Okay,
So, but
good.
the noon games are
Wait,
nice.
what do you mean your husband has to get there early to get the
Well,
good spot?
he needs to be there early.
You go with him?
Of course I do.
Oh, I see.
Of course, if I
I
want to
thought
ride,
you. I thought you sent him down there, and then you show up at 1 o'clock.
All first.
Go
No,
get it
he's-
all set
Take
up
it
and let
out.
me know when you're ready.
he's a get there early person. That's his nature.
Yeah.
So no, I get all the food ready. So in the morning we just load the coolers and all the gear, and I mean we've got it all organized in our garage, and in the car it goes.
Off to
and
go.
We can be set up in 15 minutes.
The atmosphere is so much fun. You hate to miss it because there are only a few a year. Really.
There are, and I like the noon games because you get out of the game and you can hang out in the parking lot for a while, listen to the 3:30
Afterwards.
games, and
Oh.
it's a little more relaxing.
Yeah,
So,
I never thought about that.
Well, stick with me, Michael
After
Pat.
part, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hop on that Jameson bicycle and come find you down there.
Come on over, because by the time the traffic is clearing, then the band comes out and they do their march, and you're kind of stuck there anyway. So
Yeah.
you just hang out and listen to the 3:30 games, and it's kind of relaxing.
Now, I know you're a Michigan State fan, but if you don't mind, I'm going to play a little clip for all of you that they used in Michigan Stadium at last week's game. And I think they might do it before every game, but they show a video, and it's Bo Schembechler, and it's from a locker room speech that he gave a long time ago.
When you're talking about
Yeah. And it occurred to me that while the team uses it for motivation and they repeat the mantra, that it might be interesting to use in the workplace, too, if it's possible. Now, here's the piece of audio.
We're going to believe in each other. We're not going to criticize each other. We're not going to talk about each other. We're going to encourage each other.
One more time, if you would, Tony.
We're going to believe in each other. We're not going to criticize each other. We're not going to talk about each other. We're going to encourage each other.
We're going to believe in each other. We're not going to talk about each other. We're not going to criticize each other. We're going to encourage each other. If it were only that simple, huh?
Wouldn't that be nice? If it was that easy.
That's their mantra. It probably works well for them, but can that really be replicated in the workplace?
You know what? I hate to be. I don't think I'm naive. I think we're pretty close in our stores.
Yeah? How
And
do you
I
do
think-
that?
I think it was the Saturn thing, the teamwork. A lot of car dealerships, each department is separate, and they kind of battle each other. The sales department, new car sales battles used car sales because they separate the departments and have used car salesmen, new car salesmen. So naturally, those customers are looking at both. Then service battles with sales because they want to maybe spend more money on the pre-owned cars than the sales manager is willing to do. Then parts has their thing that they're battling with service on selling parts because each department is independent. So we have always, and I think it's my mentor, Karen Norris now, her name was Karen Tybus at the time, she made sure that these teams all work together. They get paid together as a whole store. There's no separation in departments. Managers all get together, and we've really been able to maintain that. And we do encourage and I think the customer feels that when they walk in. We've got a pretty good teamwork atmosphere, which most car dealerships don't, because I've been in both. So is that true in your businesses as well?
I would say so. It's what I find interesting on that whole line, and you can set up the best team, you can have all that, but you hire the wrong person,
Right.
or you bring in the wrong person. All it
Exactly.
takes is one, and it can
Absolutely.
destroy
Exactly.
morale
Exactly.
so fast. I mean, we can get through tough customers. We can get through different situations. That part of it's
Right.
the easy part, but one bad chemistry, and it unravels.
How can you
almost
spot
incredibly
it?
fast.
How
And
can
I know
you
I've
spot
talked
it?
about that. Yeah.
The biggest thing I'm trying to spot it lots of times is when we bring in somebody new, we double them up. And when they're doubled up in a vehicle, number one, we do that to see exactly where, because I've had people tell me, oh, yeah, I can do this and this
can
and
do
this.
anything.
I can, yeah.
Oh, really?
Everything
Oh,
goes.
yeah.
But in reality, jack of all trades, master of none comes to mind. And, you know, we sort them out pretty quick that way. But there's been, all the way back through the years, there's been once in a while that somebody gets in there, and it makes it tough. And, you know, weed them through and, you know, look for that chemistry of the people that are getting along as a team.
We do the same thing with our service and installation. We do the ride-alongs,
Yep.
and we let
Yep.
our employees determine whether or not an individual is a good fit.
Right.
And that seems to have gone over really well. They were uncomfortable with it at first because they didn't want to criticize someone and deprive them of the opportunity for a job.
Yep.
But it's the same thing. I mean, our service department is the most cohesive service department in the 25 years I've been in business, and I'm not going to hire anyone to screw it up.
Yep,
And the people in the office, you can see it more if they start segmenting, you know, this group and then this group. So it's pretty easy when you're in the office all day long, within the office, to see what's happening. And when it's working, and right now we've got a great team, and they're all working together, and it is team. It's amazing the difference it makes, and everybody's got a spring in their step, and everybody's willing to back each other up. But everyone has made bad hiring choices. Everyone.
Isn't that the real word there is team? And I think that came from athletics. It has to have
Yeah.
come. And so we've all used those words in our businesses, that having the right team, like Bo Schembeckler says, if you have the right team, you have those things.
Right.
And Mary, do you have the same?
Well, I have a much smaller staff, and there's certainly some elements that are out of my control and within that. But I think for me, I just try to do my best and lead by example and control what I can
Yeah.
control. And let the
Example is a
things
true word,
control-
too.
and
Yeah.
the things I can't control, I just let go.
We're not going to talk about each other. We're not going to criticize each other. We're going to encourage each other. That was the mantra. Maybe you're lucky enough to have that in your workplace. Maybe you can start it today and see if you can get it to grow a little bit. That's one of our ideas this morning at 14 before the hour. It is the Mid-Michigan Business Wrap today with Mary Stucco, Farm Bureau Insurance, Bob Hedlund from Hedlund Plumbing, Cheryl Freeborough, Hyundai of Lansing, and Peggy Doty is here from Doty Mechanical Heating and Cooling. We're back in a flash.
Shields.
Oh, well, the size of the crowd in the coffee house here at our Gillespie Group storefront studio is sort of like gas. It expands to the size of the container. And I swear it's double the crowd since when we started about 45 minutes ago. Amanda Wall is in the coffee house, and she's doing a little sleuthing on who do we find.
Good morning, Michael Patrick. I'm here with Bill Harney from Ad Ink and Toner Supply. Can you tell us kind of what your business does and then what brought you down here?
Well, we're primarily a business-to-business company, and we sell inkjet and toner cartridges along with print ribbons. And the reason I came down here, I heard they had really good hot chocolate, which they really do. And I know a number of people on the panel, and I thought, well, I'd come down and see what's going on.
That's nice
It looks
of
like you're getting a little work done as well.
Yes, there's a little bit of work here with a friend of mine.
And
They're doing their football picks for the weekend. No, I'm just kidding.
We have Rick Cunningham, the owner of Cunningham's, and can you tell us what you do?
Well, I do design and for printing and apparel, and I provide printing and apparel to my customers, mostly a business to business.
And what brought you down here? Just the Mid-Michigan Business Wrap? Did you come down to see what it was all about?
Well, I came here to meet an old friend, Bill Harney, next to me, and he had some shirts embroidered that I delivered to him. And I was interested in tasting their coffee and seeing what this place is like inside.
Wonderful. And then we'll move to the table behind them. Michael Sidlowski, Vice President of Sales for Alternative Revenue. Can you talk to us a little bit about what you guys are doing down here today?
Yes. I'm here. Alternative Revenue Development is a brand new entity in the state of Michigan that is helping out schools by creating revenue for them, alternative forms of revenue. So we come in and assist with sponsorships, with signage, web, experiential, and direct-to-home communications. And then we have a revenue split with the school district so that they get to use their assets and create revenue, and then we keep a little portion for overhead as well.
Wonderful. And another way to build revenue for schools today is Count Day Michael Patrick. So if you have a student that's at home that thinks they should be missing school, you should probably encourage them to go because that's a lot of how they get their funding right now.
It's count day. It's the fall count day today. Thank you very much. The count in the coffee house right now of people, somewhere under 2,000. We're not sure how far under 2,000, but we hope you'll join us next week. Make plans to drop by. Why not? We're right here on the Avenue of Michigan, right across from the baseball stadium. I'm going to give you just a little touch of... you know what? I'm not going to do that. I was going to give you some bad news. I think I'll not do that. We've had such a nice program today. Why would I want to do that? Nowhere to go but up. Let's put it that way. I am hearing, though, in terms of good news from Grand Rapids, there's a company called Travel Leaders, and they say that business travel is picking up. That more people are beginning to travel again for business. And I think there was a time when that was, frowned upon. Remember when Cheryl, the executives from the Big Three, traveled to Washington, D.C. by corporate jet? And everybody said,
They
wait
got
a
in big
minute,
trouble
what?
for that
And
one,
the
yeah.
next time they took cars, remember?
Yes.
And they drove all the
Yes.
way there.
Yeah.
Do you don't really have well, you do because you go to dealer meetings and
There
heck,
are a
you went
lot
all the way to
fewer-
Korea.
There were a lot fewer than we used to have.
Yeah.
We used to have them. I was traveling constantly,
Mm-hmm.
and there are a lot fewer, a lot more, phone kind of things and stuff more locally. They're bringing them to more locally.
Yeah.
They might have 4 meetings across the country now versus having one in Detroit. So we're seeing a lot more of that because people don't want to spend the money to travel.
I've heard that those dealer meetings that they had at the Big Three were splashy affairs. Were
Very. They used to be unbelievably splashy. The big, frozen ice sculptures with drinks coming off of them.
Yeah.
Lots of unbelievable food, from caviar to every kind of thing between. They used to be extremely splashy. They've toned that way down as well. And at least for the dealer part, I don't know what the executives are doing, but the dealers is much more toned down because everybody's trying to save money, and you don't want to look that flamboyant anymore. It's not a good look for anybody.
They had them in snazzy locations
Very
too, right?
snazzy locations.
Which
right,
one was the
right.
best one you remember?
Probably, well, the Renaissance was always, nice and splashy for the auto show.
Oh, yeah.
The auto show every year was very splashy. And even 20 groups that would go to Cabo and all kinds of fancy places for their meetings, they quit doing those kind of things. The best place I was ever at was in Idaho. Coeur d'Alene, Idaho
yeah.
is just beautiful. And that was probably the last fancy trip I took, and it was a gorgeous place. I expected Idaho to be potatoes.
Yeah.
But this was on a big lake with salmon fishing, and it was a gorgeous resort, and you could go, and there was a boat you took to an island to golf on. You would have,
Yeah,
there's
there's a
golfing
green.
there.
Yep.
Have you ever been there? It's
No,
beautiful. It's
but
gorgeous.
I've never met anybody who went there and didn't come back sounding like you.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Because I scoff at it. I mean, what are you kidding me, Idaho? And they
That's
say,
what I
oh,
thought.
It's fantastic.
Oh, no. Nothing like you imagine.
See the things you learn on the Mid-Michigan Business Wrap. Thank you very much, Mary Stucco from Farm Bureau Insurance. Nice to see you again.
Nice seeing you too.
See you soon. Bob Hedlund, Hedlund Plumbing. Cheryl Freeborough, you heard, from Hyundai of Lansing. And Peggy Doty. Go State.
Go State.
Go green, go white, and all that stuff. Doty Mechanical, Heating and Cooling. SpotlightMM.com is where you can go to connect with any of them. They would love to hear from you for business or just for sharing ideas. And now we turn to the founder of the Mid-Michigan Business Wrap to tell us.
That's a wrap.